Hey y'all, it's Raizu here. Today we'll be back to Bluelock chapter 318.
Alright, so today I'm back with yet another chapter review, and today we will go over chapter 318, which is pretty interesting,
Let's see what this
as we
one's
learn
about.
about what each team's strategies for the second half will be, but you will just have to sit back and watch to find out what happens. Anyway, please leave a like and a comment and subscribe to my other channels down in the
The
description,
original vid
and
will
with
be
that
in the
out of the way,
description.
let's get into it. Alright, starting off this chapter, we see the text saying, Nigeria is crushed by Gagamaru's divine defense.
Yeah, Gagamaru locked
Japan
in.
heads into halftime with the lead.
Make sure you go
After
watch that
that,
video I
we
just
see the
posted.
commentators screaming out their hearts as they say that Japan's blue lock really is this strong, continuing as they say that Nigeria's team was completely crushed both in the attack and defense, and with the 2-0 score, it also marks the end of the first half. After that, we
First
get
half
into the
over.
changing rooms and see Raichi screaming out of excitement.
Raichi hyped.
Nanase even jumps up into the air as he calls the save amazing. We also see the GOAT Corona, who compliments everyone on their great plays out there.
Thrown in the
We
shark
also
boy.
see Fukaku in the back telling Gagamaru, "Good job," and he thanks him, which is really wholesome. Anyway, moving on to Aiku, who looks at both Ryu and Nico as he tells them that they are
My
doing
goat
well,
Aiku.
but that they're pushing up too far,
He's
telling
locked
them to
in.
pay closer
I
attention to the
hope he does
defensive
something
line
this
in the second
chapter.
half. Nico says that he's got it, but that they can't hold back in ball disputes, and Ryu agrees, telling Aiku that he won't go easy in one-on-ones either. Moving over to Karasu, who says that honestly they could have scored another goal, he calls out to both Chigiri and Hiyori and asks them if they aren't focusing too much on crosses, telling them to try and take more shots on the goal. Chigiri just smirks and tells him to be silent and to just wait for the second half. Hiyori agrees and tells Karasu to take more shots himself. After that, he just leaves, and Chigiri goes over to Bachira to discuss his goal. However, we then see Anri, who looks at all of this going down. She calls them
Y'all fighting or
prideful
something,
and says
bro?
that they haven't even set their second
Yeah,
half strategy
Karasu
yet.
in an argument.
She smiles and thinks that these boys are growing at an insane pace and that they have to clear the
Chicory
group stage no
chilling.
matter what, as she is determined to win. Suddenly, we get to Isagi, who comes by
Isagi,
and says that there's no point in winning if they play like this.
the
He
goat.
looks serious and says that if they keep doing the same old thing, then they won't grow at all, explaining that it's why they are going to try something new in the second half. Karasu is a bit confused, but he is on board and asks him what he has in mind, and Bachira is also curious about that. Isagi tells them that he tried this in practice and that they will play a false 9, pushing in with the second and third lines, saying that if this works, then they
New
will
type
have
of
more options
formation.
on the
Okay,
attack.
okay.
Aiku tells him that
Isagi
it
just
sounds very
the brain
interesting,
of the whole
but
team, bro.
asks about the risks, and if Isagi doesn't think that holding the score till the end also counts as experience. Isagi says that he is right, and that they should just do both. Try new things, but also make sure that they secure the win. Aiku scratches his
Isagi know what
head
he
while
talking
saying
about.
that he is right, but just then, Nico comes and tells Isagi that it's easier said than done, and that trying out new ideas in attack means the defense has to adjust too. Isagi, with no hesitation at all, tells him that they will fix that as well, and that he will talk about it with Eagle.
So Nico and Aiku
Karasu
both
just asks them if they can
on the
really
defense
just change
side.
everything all of a
Know
sudden,
that.
but then someone else says that he is in on it. It's none other than Rin,
Rin.
who is sitting down. He says
Rin
that
is
just winning
on
isn't enough for him,
the
and that he
same
will
side
crush
as
them the only
Isagi.
way. He
I'm
then starts to
surprised.
look wild as he says that. Besides, he hasn't even scored yet, and that it's
I'm
time to stop
shocked.
pretending to be a nice guy. And I don't know what he thought with that line, but it wasn't cold at all. Isagi looks back towards him and says, "All right," and Aiku also adds in by calling them the two egoistic stars. After that, we leave them for a quick moment and jump
Oh,
into the
Nigeria.
Nigerian locker room.
Yeah, they
In there,
disappointed.
we see Bello looking
I don't
lost
blame
while
him.
saying that they can't beat them.
All discouraged.
Oboabona says that if they keep this up, then they will lose. After that, some random ask their coach what they should do in the second half. After that, we see their coach, who is also called Gambali. He calls Blue
Mbale.
Lock impressive and says that they can set up plays all over the field and still score goals. After that,
Then
he
I just now Pete that boy got the McDonald's hairline. That's Chris McDonald's. Look a perfect M on that boy.
compliments Isagi as he calls him truly impressive. He then looks serious as he says that they haven't been able to play at all so far, and that Onatsi hasn't been able to play. We then get to Onatsi, who has his towel over his head, and says that this has never happened before, and calls it bad news. He then takes off the towel
Now
and
this
says
boy's
that this
hairline
is
is
a World
crisp.
Cup. Hey, it's Natsu mid-editing here, and I just wanted to pause the video
Hey,
too. And he then
go ahead,
starts
sub
looking
it to that
super
boy.
pumped
The
up
link in the
as he says
description.
that Blue Lock is a beast. Everyone is confused, but Onatsi says that in the second half, Isagi will be there. Kuso just looks at him and wonders if he has gone insane. However, Onatsi then jumps up and asks the coach and everyone else why they think that Japan is so strong. Bello says
I
that
mean, they
they are
got good
strong because they
defense,
can attack
the
in so many
offense.
ways, and Obobona adds on that all 11 of them are trying to score. It's kind of funny how he added Gagamaru into it. Onazi then says that he is right,
Hagamore trying to
and that
score.
every single one of them lives for
That
the
would be
goal.
crazy. Like,
We then leave them and head once again back to Bluelock, where Ego asks them about their thoughts on why people say that they want to win. Everyone looks confused at the start, but Bachira asks if it isn't because winning feels
the
good.
dribbling goat.
Ego then asks him why winning feels good, and Isagi then adds on by saying that it's because that way you can prove
Shido
that
made
you're
an
superior
appearance.
to others. Shido then says that he is correct. Ego says that the instinct is carved into their genes, and by nature an individual must show superiority to survive. The stronger ones have a better chance of leaving descendants, saying that Bluelock exists precisely to draw out that survival instinct and create the strongest individuals in the world.
Now
We then
Ego is
move back
talking.
to Onatsi, who says
That's the
that he
coach we
wants to
know.
beat Bluelock and tells his team that they should try and play like they are playing. Oboabona asks if he means that each of them goes after the goal. Bello looks worried and tells Onatsi that they can't score like he can. Onatsi then screams that it doesn't matter and to just give it a try. He looks at their coach and asks him if that's alright, and he just laughs and says that if he is the one saying it, then let's take this challenge head on and crush them. Then we leave them and go back to Ego,
I bet
who
some of
says
they
that
all trying
however,
to score.
if all human beings were guided only by the instincts of, I want to win, or I want to prove my superiority, then conflicts and prejudice would multiply and wars would never end. In order to prevent that, humanity created laws and rules, trying to evolve toward a life where everyone is treated equally. But that led to people being able to live without the feeling of wanting to win. And that apathetic world is what humanity calls peace.
Ego's cooking right
He puts his
now.
glasses up and says that it's why he keeps appealing to this instinct of, I want to win, so that the true burning desire within them doesn't get swallowed
He
by
did a
this
little
apathetic world.
glasses.
Of course, that
Okay,
includes him,
I
as well
peeped
as
that Ego.
Bluelock is a living laboratory, created to rip away those who got comfortable with peace, laying bare their instincts and desires. After that, we see the Nigerian team walking out super hyped up, and
The
Bluelock
second
also
half,
walks onto the pitch.
both
Ego
teams
then tells
locked in
them
now.
that he will grant them a new
Switched up
formula
they play.
and asks them if they know why soccer has such power to captivate people. However, we don't see a response to that as the kickoff begins and the match is back in full action.
Here we go.
Now there's no break next week, and the next
Already, it's
chapter will be
already
called
over,
the
man.
Freezer formula, which honestly could
Well,
be two
that was a good
things.
chapter though, for
Either
sure.
we will just see how it works when two teams are both going all in on scoring,
They
as I
both
believe
locked
that
in
frenzy
now.
means chaos, or we will see what Ego prepared for the second half and what their strategy for this last half might be.
Hopefully,
Now, there was a
Blue
lot
Lock
of
got
talk in this
that.
chapter, which I love. However, I'm not sure what I can really expand on. However, I want to say that I really admire Isagi,
His
but
playing
also
is
all of the
good.
other players, as they are currently in one of the most
And Ren
prestigious
actually
and
agreeing
important
with
moments
it
in their lives.
is
And yes,
surprising.
they have the lead, but still they decide in the middle of this super important game to try out new strategies. Now,
That
things
could
like
come
this are
back
what
to
really make someone evolve,
hurt them.
but it's really cool
Trying
to
new
see,
strategies
firstly,
in the
how
end
Isagi
game,
put it forward, but also how
where it
everyone
matters the
agreed to
most.
it. And honestly, I can't wait to get into
We're
the
gonna
second
see
half.
next week.
However, while on that
Hey, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace.